Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk about Nightwing. I am going to talk a little bit about what we've seen. I actually haven't reviewed Nightwing since it was in the 50s, and there was a lot of reason for that. I did drop the title in the late 50s for a while, started picking it back up about 61 or 62, and the reason is it kind of got off track. Don't get me wrong, I do like Scott Lobdell. I do think Dan Jurgens is doing a better job with it now. Like, I read this issue and I was really excited. It was really good. The reason is we went down this whole, like, Rick train, right? Like, he lost his memory after KGB shot him, and basically he went, like, to this whole new personality. We seen the beginning of the Nightwings, with all of the different, the policeman, the firefighter, they're like Nightwing Blue, Nightwing Red. We've seen all of them, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. Now, when Year of the Villain was introduced, we've gotten this kind of storyline when it comes to Nightwing going back to being Talon in the Court of the Owls, which I absolutely love. I always thought that was such a good storyline. I may be a little bit partial to Scott Snyder, but even so, I loved it. Now we are getting back to Dick Grayson. We don't actually get a name back, but we are starting to get him back. And I love it because there for a while, like I said, in the 50s when I started to read it, and I hated it. I read this thing. It's not like, hey, fucking, you don't enjoy it. You absolutely hate it. But I wanted to know what was going on, and then I just eventually gave up. So we are back to a good, solid Nightwing story, and I absolutely love it. Last issue, we saw the introduction of Condor Red, and he basically was introduced to fight Dick, and he knocked off part of his mask as Talon. So it kind of confused him, right? He didn't know what was going on, and now when this comic opens up, and by the way, this Batman Tales Once Upon a Crime that I keep getting advertisement for, I have to have it. Like, I know it's for little kids, but I want it so bad. I looked it up and like, all right, it's going to be at Walmart next month. I am getting it. Anyway, so it opens up and we're getting Dick kind of getting those memories back. He's realizing he was Robin as a kid, and we go through, I love this page because we go through the different stages. That was Dick Grayson, right? We see him with Starfire, Donna Troy. We see him with the Teen Titans. We see him proposing to Barbara. So he is remembering her. Now, I am going to talk about his relationship with Bea a little bit, but we're also seeing him remember the villains that were in either Bloodhaven or Gotham. He's remembering everything very slowly, and he's still a bit confused. So we see him with Condor, and this is actually his grandfather, who is the original Talon, and they're realizing that he's getting his memory back. And he's like, you know, this isn't me. This isn't who I am. I don't wear this getup. I don't need mind control. And he takes everything off, and he's got these two boards, and for his schemas, like he's getting back to who he is, and I absolutely love it. It's been like 20 issues of this pompous Rick character that I just couldn't get into. Don't get me wrong, the Nightwings were okay. One is still in the hospital, got his ass beat, but even so, like, it wasn't my cup of tea. Now it feels like we're finally getting back to something worth reading. So we get a fight. Obviously, Bea is worried. I do want to talk about her a little bit because it took me a really long time to like her, and now I do, and now I'm kind of like torn. So we get, like I said, a lot of this is going to be a fight, but we do see him falling, and he gets caught. But while he's falling, he's saying, I remember this. My body knows what to do, like the muscle memory, right? You do something for so long, and it becomes second nature, and that's what he's realizing while he falls. Well, he doesn't quite grasp it, but Nightwing Red, I forget his name, but I think he's the firefighter. He catches him, and we see him and Bea hug, and his grandfather obviously falls into the water, and him and Bea have to talk, right? Like, what a place to talk. They jump on a passing bus. Like, I get your Nightwing. I get it. but quit showing your stuff. Like, you don't need to impress her. She already loves you. So we get this conversation between, and the art in this is fantastic. It really reminds me of a good Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson, is supposed to be, in a way, don't get me wrong, he's very much a male character, but the ladies love Dick Grayson. If you are a comic book reader and you are female, and I'm speaking from experience, you love Dick Grayson. Anyways, he looks so good. So we see this conversation, and he's like, we need to talk. And she's like, oh, well, so this is it. You're leaving me. And he's like, no, he's not. He remembers everything, all of their time together. The other stuff is foggy. His time with Batman, his time in the Teen Titans, his time with Barbara, all of that is foggy. But he does remember her. So she's kind of like his anchor in this scenario, in a way. But they are good. And what I want to talk about this is she took a long time for me to win over. I like Dick with Barbara. I like Dick with Starfire too, don't get me wrong. But Dick with Barbara was always my thing. I really like them together. And we did even see, I think it was in 50 or 51, him kind of being a dick to her, leaving her. She's like, we're together. And he's like, I don't know you, So, it took a long time for me to like this new relationship. Like, beautiful freaking kiss. I love every bit of it. The whole time I was reading this, I was like, that song, My Boyfriend's Back and You're Gonna Be in Trouble? I had it in my head. Like, Dick Grayson is back and it's so nice. What I expect we're going to get from here on out when it comes to 69, because they didn't make hint at his name, like, what do I call you? I do have a feeling we're going to get him saying his name back, which is kind of symbolic of, who he is. Him remember himself completely. This was a long and slow burn. And I honestly can say at this point, being this far into it, it kind of paid off. Now, like I said, there was a dip. There was a huge dip. And they lost me for a while. I feel like they, instead of making this into, I think it was 50 through 68, so 18 issues. If they'd have done it in half, maybe done it in 9 issues, the sales wouldn't have dipped as much. But for as slow as burn it is, it's finally paying off and it's finally good. I'm really excited to see where we go from here forward. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Subscribestar and Patreons. You guys literally make this channel possible. Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris C, Dave Ross, David L, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Sanjuro, Jeremy Burtz, Joe Bustify, Gato Round, Magical Exotic Diamonds, Mighty Pauls, Mike Buckner, Robert, Steve Glasker, Timothy French, Alice Matt Films, Alexander Trapp, Way Else One, and Troy Reiser. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like on the way out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.